1990. India GDP per capita $367. China GDP per capita $318. India was richer than China. February 2026. India GDP per capita $2,878. China GDP per capita $13,687. China is 4.7 times richer. Same starting point, same population size, సేమ్ టైం పీరియడ్. రెండు కంట్రీస్ వీక్గా ఉన్నాయి 1990లో. ఇప్పుడు చైనా ఎకనామిక్ పవర్, ఇండియా స్టిల్ స్ట్రగ్లింగ్. ఎందుకు? నెక్స్ట్ 10 minutes కంప్లీట్ ట్రూత్. హార్డ్ ఫ్యాక్ట్స్, నో ఎక్స్క్యూజెస్. చైనా ఇండియా కన్నా ఎంత ముందు? 5 షాకింగ్ రీజన్స్. రీజన్ 1, ది ఎకనామిక్ గ్యాప్. ఫస్ట్ నెంబర్స్ చూద్దాం. February 2026 లేటెస్ట్ డేటా. టోటల్ జీడిపి నామినల్. చైనా $20.7 trillion, వరల్డ్ సెకండ్ పొజిషన్. ఇండియా $4.2 trillion, వరల్డ్ ఫోర్త్ పొజిషన్. చైనా జీడిపి ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 5 times ఇండియా. జీడిపి పర్ క్యాపిటల్. చైనా $13,687 పర్ పర్సన్. ఇండియా $2,878 పర్ పర్సన్. యావరేజ్ చైనీస్ పర్సన్ 4.7 times రిచర్. జీడిపి గ్రోత్ రేట్ 2026. ఇండియా 6.16% ఫాస్టర్. చైనా 4.16%. కానీ ఇండియా ఫాస్ట్గా గ్రో అవుతుంది కదా. ఎస్, బట్ చైనా $20.7 trillion into 4.16% is equal to $861 billion added. India $4.2 trillion into 6.16% is equal to $259 billion added. China adds 3.3 times more wealth than India every year, even with slower growth. Global economic growth contribution 26.6%, world's first. India 17%, world's second. USA 9.9%, world's third. Together, China plus India 43% of global growth. But China alone contributes more than India plus USA combined. 1987, China and India GDP almost equal. 1998, China crossed $1 trillion. 2007, India crossed $1 trillion. 9 years later. 2026, China $20.7 trillion. India $4.2 trillion. గ్యాప్ పెరుగుతుంది, క్లోజింగ్ కాదు. ఎందుకు? రీజన్ 2, ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్. ది విజిబుల్ డిఫరెన్స్. సెకండ్ మేజర్ రీజన్ ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్. ఈ డిఫరెన్స్ మీరు ఐస్తో చూడగలరు. రోడ్స్ అండ్ హైవేస్. కంపారిజన్ డేటా February 2026. చైనా టోటల్ ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ వేస్ 1,80,000 kilometers, వరల్డ్స్ లార్జెస్ట్. రోడ్స్ పేవ్డ్ 64%. హై స్పీడ్ హైవేస్ built 5,000 kilometers per year for last decade. Quality world class. 6 lane, 8 lane common. India total national highways 1,45,000 kilometers. Roads paved 54%. Bharatmala project 34,800 kilometers planned by 2028. Quality improving but potholes common. China invested 10 times more in highways than India. Railways. China total rail 1,55,000 kilometers. High speed rail 45,000 kilometers, world's first. Bullet trains 350 kilometers per hour speed. Freight 2.5 billion ton kilometer. India total rail 68,000 kilometers. High speed rail 0 kilometers, Mumbai to Ahmedabad, under construction since 2017. Fastest train Vande Bharat 160 kilometers per hour. Freight 0.6 billion ton km. China built Sichuan Tibet railway in mountains 1,838 kilometers, completion by 2030. India's Mumbai Ahmedabad 500 kilometers plain route started 2017, still not completed in 2026. Airports. China 250 plus airports, 37 built in 2016 to 2020 alone. India 148 airports, doubled from 74 in 2014. Good progress. Border infrastructure. China side Tibet. Road 1,20,000 kilometers network. Airports 37 new airports since 2017. Connectivity complete. India side Arunachal, Ladakh. Roads 1,435 kilometers completed, 875 kilometers planned. Limited all-weather connectivity, catching up but decades behind. China built this in 10 years. 45,000 kilometers high-speed rail, 100 plus new airports, complete Tibet highway network. India built 0 kilometer high-speed rail operational. Some highways improved. Border connectivity still weak. Why this matters? Infrastructure is equal to economic growth ka backbone. Goods transport fast is equal to business growth. People travel easy is equal to opportunities increase. Connectivity better is equal to development spreads. Reason 3, manufacturing power. మూడో రీజన్ Manufacturing dominance. China is equal to workshop of the world. Manufacturing output. China. Manufacturing 28% of GDP. Industrial production. Massive. Exports $3.5 trillion plus per year. Made in China. Every product, every market. India. Manufacturing 17% of GDP. Services 55% of GDP. IT software. Exports $775 billion per year. Made in India. Growing but limited. Specific examples. Electronics. China makes 90% of world's smartphones, 80% of computers. All major brands, Apple, Samsung, assemble in China. India makes growing mobile assembly, mostly assembly, not manufacturing. Components import from China. Automobiles. China 30 million cars per year, world's first. India 5 million cars per year. Steel production. China 1 billion tons per year. India 125 million tons per year. China produces 8 times more steel. Why this happened? Historical subplot. 1980s to 1990s. China strategy. Focus on manufacturing. Export oriented growth. Built factories. Invited foreign companies. Made in China became global. India strategy. License Raj. Excessive regulations. Focused on services sector. Manufacturing neglected. Opened up late. 1991 reforms. Result. China became factory of world. India became IT services hub. Impact. Manufacturing is equal to more jobs. China employed 200 million plus in factories. Services is equal to fewer jobs but skilled. India. IT employs 5 million. Manufacturing is equal to export growth. Exports growth is equal to foreign exchange services. Foreign exchange services is equal to limited physical exports. China model worked better for massive employment and growth. Reason 4. Fourth reason. Decision making speed.